Hello. Um, Not my fault I'm late today. You're not going to believe what happened. Um, I was getting ready to go, to click that go live button and set up my phone because I like to use my phone because it has a better, I think the picture's better. And um, so I went to use it and it wouldn't work. I set it up. I clicked go live. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. I restarted the whole phone, clicked again, go live, and it just won't work. So, if I'm a little fuzzier than normal today, that's okay. Update with Tishy. She's doing okay. She's doing better. She's, of course, still blind. And sometimes I question her hearing. I don't know whether she's hearing me all the time or just not listening to me. I did read something one time that said cats do know their name. They just don't always want to answer. So think about that. But she's such a good cat. She's doing well. And I hope you'll continue your prayers because I want her with me for a long time. And if anything, if you'd have seen her when, I was requesting prayer and see her today, it's even with her issues, it's way, way better than it was. Never thought it would have been like that. So, like I said, today we are doing Mad, Mad World. There's a reason for it. I tend to watch YouTube, probably more than regular network TV. I have it playing in the background, and I have to discipline myself to turn it off so my mind can focus on just one thing. But a lot of times I'll be, cleaning up around the house or something, and I'll have YouTube going. And what happens is it will run from one, I don't know, program, episode, whatever you call it, whatever they're posting, and then it'll run into the next. And you go like, where did that come from? I never had that in my mind to watch. And sometimes they're interesting. Like if you're washing dishes, you're not gonna, dry your hands and go over and switch it and then go back. You just leave it on. And so I've seen some pretty weird stuff. And along with that weird stuff, there's stuff that is, funny, not funny. And we're going to get to that in a minute. But first of all, of course, we do the National Day calendar. Very brief today. It is National Wear Red Day. I know it's a little late in the day to be thinking about wearing red. And you might look and say, what's up? Why is she talking about that? She doesn't have red on. Well, I do. I have buffalo check red pants on. And it is all about Women's Heart Awareness, Heart Disease Awareness Month. You may not know it, but 1/3 of women die from heart disease and heart attack. And I think that that's something that we all might want to pay attention to. In a way, it's surprising. In another way, it's not. And a few points. Okay, 1 in 3 women die from heart disease and stroke, and that's another heart type thing that goes with it: heart and brain, thinking and feeling. And so there are ways that we can avoid heart disease, and that goes for men as well as women, but with women, it's a particular issue. So the things they said that women would be wise to do are stop smoking, exercise more, eat well, reduce stress, and get checkups. And that's where I think for the women, the heart comes in more, is metaphysically, women are about feeling, and they symbolize. So if you're reading a story in the Bible, or even a fairy tale or whatever, when you break it down, when you metaphysically interpret it, the emotional nature is the woman, and the more thinking nature is the male. And here's a little experiment. If you're married or in a relationship, try to remember the next time you might have a little disagreement. And what you will probably hear the male saying is, well, I think, well, I think, well, I think. And meanwhile, the woman is going to, well, I feel, and I feel. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just notice it. It's just it's just something to observe. But the stress and emotions are something that I think women are more inclined to let that affect their physical being. So it is also. I wanted to add my take on that. That women have to stop trying to do it all and to be it all. There was a commercial, which I know I probably shared with you before, but it was for Angeli perfume. And the song said, I can bring home the bacon, fry it up in a pan, and make my man so glad he's a man, 'cause I'm woman. Oh, give me a break. So what they were saying is, I can make the money, and I can do this, and I can do that, and in all that, I'm going to make my husband so glad he's a man. Okay, you should both be making each other feel good. But that was that feeling that women had to do it all. That a lot of men, and this is stereotypes from 100 years ago when I was younger, that typically the man of the house would come home, go out and work all day, and while the woman ran the house, and then she'd serve the supper, and then she'd do the dishes, and then she'd clean everything up, and then she'd get the kids to bed. So it was an imbalance of responsibilities that is not the issue today that it was back then. But the women still tend to try to do it all and have all that stress. So just something to think about. Don't be hating. So my thing was, stop trying to do it all. Okay. It is also Homemade Soup Day. Now, if you think this outfit that I'm wearing is my pajamas, officially it's not. This is called loungewear. And I'm wearing it right now because I need to get snuggled. It is so cold out, and it's getting colder, and it's going to be icy. And I hope you'll be praying with me that we don't lose our power. And because the lines are going to get very icy, that's what they're saying, is that it's going to be freezing rain and drizzle until like 10 o'clock tonight. And a lot of ice can form on the trees, and it sure looks pretty when you look at it, almost like a fairyland, but it is extremely dangerous. So those of us in the path of that huge storm, yeah, right, there's no such thing as climate change, right? Anyway, let's pray for safety for everybody. Now we get on to National Homemade Soup Day. What's better than homemade soup on a cold and damp and dank rainy day? Well, that would be homemade soup. So tonight I'm making homemade broccoli cheese soup, and I'm very much looking forward to that. And okay, let's go on now to our mad world. So when I'm watching these YouTube videos, if I don't change it, or sometimes, I want to tell you something, I'm going to be perfectly honest, I am also curious. So sometimes I'll be scanning through something and I'll go, what is that? And the world of YouTube is pretty wacky and wild. And I'm not even going to TikTok. I'm not even not even going to bother with that one. But yeah, you see a lot of reshowings of TikTok videos on YouTube. Anyway, so one of the videos I was watching one day talk about like how does that go together? Is a girl who she talks about she will tell you all about a particular crime stories, just crime stories. So she'll be telling you all about the crime story, and while she's doing it, believe it or not, she's putting on her makeup. And I gotta tell you something, this girl has got a gift. She just puts on and you go, is that enough yet? Aren't you overdoing it? But you know, in the end, she's not overdoing it. It's probably kind of even like theatrical, but it's beautiful makeup. While she's telling you a grisly, gory murder crime story. So it was pretty fascinating. Wouldn't want to watch it much. It's just once was pretty good. And then afterwards, that you know what the algorithms of YouTube, just like the algorithms of Facebook, will start pushing in your face stuff that you looked at. Say, oh, you want more of this? You want more of this? Because they want to hook you. They want to get you in there. Well, sometimes I'm just curious, and no, I'm not even interested in that. But what I noticed after is there are a bunch of women that are now doing this. They're doing, I don't know who came first. I don't care. I'm not going to look that far at it. So, but that was like, I guess I would call it a benign kind of situation. Now, not everything is so benign. I promised you something jaw-dropping, and your jaw might not drop until you think a little bit about what I'm telling you. Um, First of all, the first one is called mukbanging. Now, it happened that I was actually doing the dishes when that came on, and I'm like, well, I'll just leave it on. It was a half hour that I think it was like that thing about the scene of an accident, and you go, you know, like you can't take your eyes away. Don't look. I can't take my eyes off of this. There is a whole genre of YouTube channels where people eat huge amounts of food, that they eat enough for a family of 6 or more, just sitting down, and they do this regularly, and people watch it regularly. They watch someone gorge themselves with food, and some of them have specialties. Like one of them, this guy puts huge amounts of food in his mouth all at once. You know, like he'll have a big old, I don't know, hunk of steak, and he'll put the whole thing in his mouth. Other ones have another specialty, which maybe it's someone's fetish or something, I don't know, but they put the microphone way up to their mouth, because some people like the sounds. It actually has a condition. The condition has a name, but I don't know what it is. But they like to listen, you know, they get crunchy foods, and they're crunching right in front of the microphone, and their lips smacking, and I'm like, oh my God, you know. And it's funny, when my dear Sammy was pregnant with Tristan, if there was one thing she could not stand, it was the sound of anyone eating food. She was the opposite. And we'd be having dinner, you know, there'd be Peter and Sammy and me, and we'd be eating, and all of a sudden, Sammy'd look up like, can't you eat a little quieter? You're trying to be real quiet, you know. I think she'd complain if it was pudding. So, but that's okay. So, are you ready for the jaw-dropping part? These people make up to, some make as much as $9,000 an episode. Some make $200 an episode. Do that 5 times a week, and you got a nice little paycheck. They make the money. Their channel is called monetized. If you've watched YouTube, you've seen that they have commercials in there. And after a little bit, sometimes you can skip the ad and sometimes you can't. But if I see ads and I'm anywhere near my remote, I'll skip the ad. Not if I'm washing dishes. And anyway, so they make money for that. And some people also, come here, baby. Some people also make money for the clicks, for how many times people watch and how long they watch it, both the commercials and their show. And then the people that do likes and subscribes, they get moved up on the algorithm list, so the stuff goes they push the stuff toward more people. That's why they literally call it a marketing push. So they push the information toward people more. And and some do get donations too. So there's all kinds of money. Now, you would think, how the heck do they make $9,000 a month, or not a month, a day, an episode? But they do. And I was going to say another thing about the money making. Oh yeah, how many subscribers they have. Some of them have 10 million subscribers. And being a subscriber, which I always invite you to do, if you go watch my YouTube videos, you can click subscribe, which means you get notified every time I post a video. I always ask you to push the likes. So all these things monetize an account. Now you have borderlines that you cannot cross, or they will demonetize you. So that would take away all the motivation for doing things. But the stories of the people and their strange things, it's funny, but it's not funny. It's actually, for me, it's very disturbing when we think about how many people are desperately poor, they're in poverty, they can't eat. And other people are making money from and giving money to people who are gorging on inordinate amounts of food. You know, so that's the jaw-dropping part to me. All right. Now, another interesting thing I saw this morning was about what is called an Apple iTag, and you being followed. Now, I don't have an Apple phone. I don't know what an iTag is except for what I saw. So if you know what the iTag is and you want to pop it into the comments, go ahead. I'm not going to pretend I know something I don't know. Anyway, it's a gadget, okay? And if someone has the gadget, so I say that, let's say you want to track your purse. So if you put the iTag in your purse, or some people clip it onto their purse, they can you can go on your phone and the app will track it, which is fine unless you like go somewhere, like a lot of young people go to the bars, have a few drinks. If someone slips that into, your pocketbook or your pocket or whatever, they can track you wherever you're going. Now that's pretty scary to me. So we always have to look at the two sides of technology. One is that it can do great things, but the second is to be aware if there's anything negative that can come out of it. The man on the on the video was saying, these are video, they show real stuff. This isn't like they also have debunkers who will put up things that people say work that don't work and like that. But this guy's a tech expert, and he said you can put an eye tag in someone's exhaust of their car, or attach it inside where nobody would know it was there. It, like if you got a really sharp car, somebody thinks they'd like to have that car, they can pop that eye tag in there and track you until an opportune moment when your car becomes their car. So I thought that was pretty jaw-dropping. And he talked about all the other ways that people can track. Now, let's remember, the great vast majority of people are good and honest and fair. Whether we like them or agree with them or not, they are at their core good human beings. So this isn't like I'm saying, oh my God, And just for those of you who don't have iPhones, the iTag works on Androids as well. You buy the app, which they say doesn't work very well, excuse me, on the Androids. But we have to be careful with technology. Speaking of which, right before I came to do the video, there was a news article on about how some people are using drones to get contraband into prisons. They fly them in across the prison walls so people can get stuff they're not supposed to have in prison. Is it a mad, mad world, or is it a mad, mad world? I think it's a mad, mad world. Okay, oh my gosh, and we're running out of time, and I didn't do them all. So, you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to maybe I'll swap off with what was I going to say? I'll swap off with my National Day calendar or something, or maybe I'll pop in a little Mad Mad World thing. Yeah, I got one more I got to do, just in case you hadn't heard it. Okay? I'm sorry. I'm going over time. If you had enough, God bless you. Thank you. Love you. Thank you for popping in. Pop in again. Check it out on YouTube later, whatever works for you. So, I say used to, I will not do it again. I used to watch The Masked Singer. One of the reasons I watched it is the costumes are so stunning and fascinating, and people, sing in the costume, and you got to figure it out who it is. And I did figure it out once or twice. But I mean, it was like, what is her name? Layla Ali. I knew that voice. I also heard they can alter the voices, so not everybody that's a good singer, they can come across like they're a better singer than. Anyway, so they were taping the first episode of the next season. And the first person that was eliminated took off the head of the costume. That's how you know who it was. They have to do this big ceremony like it's taken them forever to get the head off. And they get the head off, and the person underneath is revealed. When that happened, Robin, oh, now I can't remember his name. He's a country singer, I think it's Robin, and Kim Jong, they left the stage. Do you know who was under that costume? I'm sorry if I offend you, but I find this extremely offensive to the point I will never watch that show again. It was Rudy Giuliani. Now, I know people like Shock Factor and like that, but I think there comes a time when you have to stop being so money hungry and so much into getting those likes, getting those subscriptions, getting those things, because at the bottom is money. That to take someone who has done criminal things, who has participated in trying to overturn a fair and free election, I can't do it. I can't accept it. Well, if you didn't know about it before now and you know about it now, I hope your jaw dropped on that. So, enough of that. Um, don't be hating. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. And I will see you next time. It's Friday, so I don't know if I'll be checking in before Monday or not. Because what I've learned is I'll never know when I'm going to do a video. But I want to do one all the time. I could do day long. I could be like Truman and just be on TV 24 hours a day. Watch me. You'd be bored to death. All righty. Have a great day. God bless. Be safe in the storms and pray for those who are in the path.